I think the principal thing we need to do today is to look at a room of one's own. Which is indeed the first of her great feminist tracts. She starts out as if she were come to give a lecture to a group of students, women students, either in London or in one of the new women's colleges. Remember that it was not deemed necessary throughout the 19th century, the age of the Industrial Revolution, for women to be educated. They didn't need to be educated. They were worshipped. They were put on a pedestal. They were pure. They were saintly. They were above the battle. They did not need to know things like philosophy, languages, history, economics, my goodness. They didn't need to know these things. All they needed to do was become fashionable young women, dress nicely, behave demurely, be pure in heart and body, and eventually marry some fine, not necessarily young, but wealthy man, who then would take care of her, and she would produce children, and her children would be brought up as young ladies and do the same thing over and over and over again. And now we are at a period when women are beginning to emerge. 1883, I believe it was, the Married Women's Property Act. It became legal for a woman to receive an inheritance and own money in her own right. First time ever. Of course, what she did with it was entirely her business. Up till then, any money that she came into through inheritance automatically became the property of the man she married, as did he become the property. She became the property of the man she married. But this was changing. And now she begins to talk to this class of young women about these matters. And she titles it A Room of One's Own. Very puzzling. What does a room of one's own have to do with what one does in life? Well, quite simply, she says, here and elsewhere, that if a woman is to produce anything out of her mind to undertake to write something of any value, she needs a room of her own and £500 a year. That's all. But that is essential. So she begins this tract as if she were addressing a class of young ladies. And that is where she begins to tell them what she can and cannot, and what she will and will not do. So let's have a look at how a room of one's own begins. Huh. Oddly enough, with the conjunction, but, comma,